Whenever you're
I
ready.
think, yeah, we're ready.
Okay. All righty. Get my script here. I'd like to call the meeting of the St. Louis County Board of Zoning Adjustment to order. The board members present today are Janet Herman, Chairman, and Angelia Bills, member. The Department of Planning staff members are Mel Wilson, Debbie Nesbitt, and Doug May. First, I offer into the record the affidavit of publication pertaining to today's meeting, September 9th, 2020. The board hereby takes official notice of and admits into evidence on the record St. Louis County Zoning Ordinance, Chapter 1003, St. Louis County Revised Ordinance 1974 as amended, and Chapter 1004, St. Louis County Revised Ordinance 1974 as amended. Next, I would call the motion to approve the minutes of the previous BZA meeting of August 26, 2020.
So moved.
And I second. The hearing procedure is informal, but is a teleconference and is recorded. The planning staff will read each request into the record. The petitioner will be unmuted, state their name, and make a brief presentation to the board explaining the reason and hardship for the variance. The board will not consider financial hardships. Board members may ask questions to clarify the facts. When the board is satisfied with the material presented, the chairperson will then ask if there is anyone in favor or opposition to the request. And if there is, then please click the hand next to your name and you'll be unmuted. If any comments were submitted, staff will read them into the record. Before I call for the vote, the petitioner may request a continuance in order to bring in additional documentation. The board may also request a continuance to gather additional information or for a visit to the site. Once comments have been heard, the chairperson will call for a vote. At that time, the discussion has ended and no further discussion is permitted. The board will generally make a decision today, but since there are only 2 members at this time, if the board's vote is split 1-1, the request will be deemed denied. If a variance is approved, the petitioner has 6 months from the end of the state of emergency to obtain the necessary permits or establish the use requested, or the variance will expire. The petitioner or any interested party has the right of appeal to the St. Louis County Circuit Court. This must be done within 30 days of the decision. And paperwork indicating the board's decision will be mailed to the petitioners. Is there any questions? Okay. I guess we're ready for number 1.
Okay, first item is 109-20. Edwin Hafner requests an exception to the regulations that govern the enlargement, extension, construction, reconstruction, or structural alteration of a non-conforming use, land, or structure for the purpose of constructing a room addition and carport at 11850 Riverview Drive, as required by the FPM3 Floodplain Planned Industrial District Regulations and Section 1003.170 non-conforming uses, lands, and structures of the St. Louis County Zoning Ordinance. And Edwin, are you ready to make your presentation?
Yes.
Okay, whenever you're ready.
Okay, I'm just trying to add on a room to the house for my wife to do her crafts in. I know I'm in a floodplain, but it's in, well, they claim it's in a floodplain, and it's zoned and industrial. And the house was built way before they brought in the zoning with the industrial. I think the house was built in the 60s and the zoning was done in 65 or somewhere after that. But all I'm trying to do is just put on the back room for her. She don't have to go down steps or go out and do her crafts. And she's health is declining a little bit with her knees and her eyes. So, and when we brought this up to the construction, the guy, he says, well, we can just kind of add on a little bit here and put a carport. So we add that on too. That's all I'm trying to do.
And Mr. Hafner, what were those buildings on the previous picture that we were looking at? What were those buildings to this?
I farm, so that's on some of my buildings.
Oh, okay. That building to the right there is part of
there's
your-
another house on next property, which is my mom's.
Okay.
So you're seeing 2 houses there with this picture.
Okay,
And then that's my workshop, and then further towards the river would be the shops.
okay,
Tell them it's above the floodplain.
But we did have a floodplain site done, and our floor is almost 3 feet above the floodplain, what they're talking, the main floor. So, but he's
so you already did have a floodplain study?
not a study, it's a cert. I'm still learning on this floodplain, what they actually want. But they said they needed to make sure the floor level, the main floor level, was a foot above their flood, the level they wanted. And I'm almost 3 feet above that. So
Okay. All right. Angelia, do you have any other questions?
Yes, I do. What is your hardship?
just that we're just trying to get another room added on.
Tell her I can hardly see.
She can hardly see, and
I'm not allowed steps.
she's not doing good with steps, and she has her problems with her heart. So we're trying to just make everything on one floor,
Big
one
open
level.
daylight so I can do stuff.
And it's just open. And it's not all we're doing is putting this electric. There's no water, nothing like that, and she can go out and do her crafts and what she can do out there.
See to read.
All right. So is there anyone that's in favor or opposition of this? If so, please hit the hand next to your name. Guess not.
I don't see anyone.
Okay. 109-20, I'm going to vote to approve the variance as advertised. I think the hardship being the need for an easier access for one of the homeowners to get to certain rooms. And also, I meant the stipulation that the Hafners would still need a floodplain study.
I second it.
So, Mr. Hafner, if you don't understand what a floodplain study is, maybe you can talk to somebody, Debbie or something.
Yeah, I got an engineer talking with Chris Falk,
Okay.
and trying to figure out exactly what they want. But the engineer said if you want a full-blown floodplain study, you going all the way back to the river, he says you're putting more money into it than what the house and the property even worth. I don't. It's a question on what they're needing for this.
Mm-hmm. Well, we do have to follow FEMA rules and things.
Correct. Yes, I understand.
Here over everybody. Okay. Well, you'll get your paperwork sent to you.
Those were approved.
All right. Thank you.
Uh-huh.
Okay, next item is 110-20, Chemo Music, request an exception to the front yard regulations for the purpose of constructing a room addition and a covered front porch at 133 Sigsbee Avenue, maintaining a front yard of 10 feet in lieu of 20 feet as required by the R5 Residence District regulations of the St. Louis County Zoning Ordinance. And I don't see anyone who's representing this petition. Unless Debbie, you know of anyone?
No,
Else?
let's just move it to the bottom of the list and see if somebody
Okay.
shows up.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
We'll come back to that one.
All right.
All right. We're going to go ahead to 111-20, Stephen and Anna Bartle. Request an exception to the rear yard regulations for the purpose of replacing a deck and stairs at 806 Kylewood Place, maintaining a rear yard of 12 feet in lieu of 15 feet, as required by the R4 Residence District regulations and the density development procedure of the St. Louis County Zoning Ordinance. Find. Let's see. Looking for Stephen. Oh, there he is. Stephen, are you ready to give your presentation?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, we
Go ahead.
can.
Thanks for listening to me. We bought this house about 2 years ago. There was already a deck on the back of the house, which is what is currently there, and it's in pretty poor condition. So what we were hoping to do is replace the surface of the deck and ideally not have to replace any of the posts or most of the posts. So when we measured and turned in the request for building permit, it was 12 feet instead of 15 feet. So that's, we're asking for the variance.
So it's in disrepair, so you're just replacing it where it is?
Correct. We're hoping to keep the same footprint.
Okay.
I don't have any questions.
Okay. I don't either. Is there anyone here that's in favor or opposition? If so, please hit the hand next to your name.
I don't see a hand, but
Okay.
I don't see anyone.
Okay.
Okay, well, hearing none, 112-20, I vote to approve the variance as advertised. Basically, they're rebuilding the deck in the same footprint.
I'll second. Okay, your paperwork will be mailed to you. Mr.
that's 111, right? Not 112, just
Right.
for clarification.
Yes.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Okay. The next one is 112-20, Nathaniel and Carter Gecki. Request an exception to the side and rear yard regulations for the purpose of constructing a 12-foot by 18-foot detached shed at 11115 DeMall Drive, maintaining a side yard of 3 feet in lieu of 8 feet and a rear yard of 9 feet in lieu of 15 feet as required by the R3 Residence District regulations of the St. Louis County Zoning Ordinance. And let me find. Let's see. Nathan, are you presenting on this item?
I am. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hi, how's everybody doing today? Thanks for listening to me.
Okay. Go ahead. We can hear you.
So we're hoping to build a detached shed to remove some of our tools and equipment in our carport. We were unable to convert our carport into a garage because of footing and other structural needs. And so our hardship is the backyard is also already fairly small. The 9 foot from the rear instead of 15, there's not enough room there to be able to construct that building within that regulation, that 15-foot restriction. And 8 foot to the side, three to the side rather than 8. I just got done re-leveling and building a retaining wall and regrading the backyard to make the most of the backyard to be able to use it. So I'm just hoping to not have, unused yard space in between our yard and the neighbors, which is a fence and another shed on the neighbor's side.
Doug, could you move? Is there any way you can move that? No. The plan we were looking at before, can you move it down a little so I can see?
I think so. Let me see.
If not, oh, that's much better. Okay. Now get a better idea there. Okay. So there's a neighbor behind you, Mr. Gecki, and on the side of you?
That's correct. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And then did you say the neighbor behind you has a?
The neighbor directly to the left of us have a fence and a shed of their own. And then the backyard is, if you can see the backyard line in relation to our driveway, there's not enough room there really to be able to build a shed, hardly at all. And they have a fence as well, and they're up on a hill overlooking our backyard.
Okay. Doug, could you go to that other picture, please? To the back?
Sure.
Okay, so you're talking about that area kind of there.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Mhm.
What type of doors will be on the shed?
What type of doors? Just
Yes.
uh,
Or-
we're planning on just constructing 2 doors that swing open towards the outer walls.
Okay.
So really a shed, just for the safety of your tools and equipment. To not
Yes,
be
we've
stolen.
already. I have quite a few ladders and some pigboards, and I've had some items stolen from my carport, and so we'd like to finish our basement we're using for storage, and we would have to move some things out of there. So the best option that we could come up with was to build a detached garage, or not. I'm sorry, not a garage, but a detached shed.
Yes, okay. All right, Angelia, do you have any other questions?
I don't.
Okay, is there anyone here for or against this variance? Please hit the hand next to your name. Yes,
I
no.
don't see anyone.
Okay. 112-20, I'm going to vote to approve the variance as advertised. It's not, 2 things. Their hardship is they're not able to convert their carport into a garage. And the second thing is they'd like safety to be able to put their tools and equipment and things away, locked up, not to be, unfortunately, stolen. So,
I second it.
okay. You'll have your paperwork mailed to you.
Thank you guys so much.
Okay, the next item is 113-20, Robert Dandino. And this item will be continued to the next Board of Zoning Adjustment meeting.
Okay.
So we'll go on to the next item. 114-20, Club Car Wash. Request an exception to the sign regulations for the purpose of installing wall signage at 12150 Lusher Road, maintaining a sign size for the north and south elevation of 66 square feet in lieu of 51.8 square feet as required by the C8 Planned Commercial District Regulations and Section 1003.168 sign regulations of this of the St. Louis County Zoning Ordinance and C8 Ordinance 27601. And Jean, are you ready to give your presentation?
I was actually going to see if Justin Barnes was on. He represents the company,
Oh, yes.
Club
Yes.
Car Wash.
Oh, sure.
And
Yeah, I'll
if he's
ask him.
on, I would rather he talk because he knows the property well better than I do.
Okay, no problem.
Okay.
Justin, are you ready to give your presentation?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. I'm Justin Barnes with Club Car Wash. We have built a new car wash right up on the north side of Lusher Road, and we're requesting to enlarge our sign on the south side and the north side of our building. The biggest hardship we have here is 2 points, our distance that our setback is off of the Lusher Road and Parker Road, and the shape of our building. You know, on the square footages are calculated on this elevation sizes. And, you know, we've got 2,748 on the long side that we're really not taking advantage of. We're asking for 60 foot over the 51.8 as the traffic comes in on the south side and the north side there. So we'd like to increase that in order for our signage to be seen coming from Parker Road and also on the north side as well.
Okay. Angelia, do you?
Yeah,
Angelia, do you
I'm
know that
trying,
area?
I'm trying to think of the visual on that. What is close to that area?
Well, we're right on the north side of the new Quick Trip, right there at Parker Road and Lusher.
Oh,
We're on the north side of Quick Trip. down Lusher Road there.
Okay, and so are you trying to get traffic to see you off of 367?
Well, 367 and Paga Miller on the backside, and then also we have an access agreement coming on the east side of Quick Trip. So we'd like to catch that traffic coming behind the Quick Trip as well. We're not allowed to get any signage, back on that side there to increase that signage on that tower.
Okay, I know what you're talking about. Thank you.
Okay. So do you have any other questions, Angelia? She's Angelia?
Oh, it looks like she muted herself.
Yeah, I said no, I don't have any other questions.
Sorry, I couldn't hear you, sorry.
Okay.
Is there anyone here on this WebEx that's in favor or opposition? Please hit the hand next to your name.
Okay.
See anyone?
Hearing none, 114-20, I vote to approve the variance as advertised, and the hardship just being that it's hard to see in that area. It's kind of a low-lying area with the highway a little elevated.
Okay, and I'll second. No, so I don't know, one of you or both of you will be receiving paperwork in the mail.
All right, thank you very much.
Okay.
Okay, next item is 115-20, Karen and Joe Panhorst. Let's see. Request an exception to allow the construction of a 30-foot by 40-foot detached garage, which will be more than half of the footprint of the home at 5382 Kurth Road, as required by Section 4 of the R2 Residence District Regulations of the St. Louis County Zoning Ordinance. Karen, are you ready to speak on this item?
I am present, but Jim Hotop with Garages, the contractor is going to speak.
Okay. Sure. Okay, no problem.
There you go.
All right, Jim, you're ready. Whenever you're ready.
I was getting a little worried there. My name is Jim Hotop. I'm here representing Coach House Garages on behalf of Karen and Joe Panhorst. Karen and Joe purchased this property and home in 2019, November of 2019, with the idea of moving from the Festus area from a farm into this home. At the time, they have a plan to remodel a laundry, a first floor laundry, a bedroom, and build a detached garage. Joe and Karen are bringing along with them a boat, an RV, and 4 cars. The current garage has limited space due to the main floor laundry room. Basically, their hardship is that they're getting into their golden years and want to have a place where they can retire to safely. As it is now, Joe has a lot of equipment that they're bringing with them and needs a place to store it. It's basically homeowners type equipment for yard and home improvements, tinkering, whatever you want to call it. And that's about it. Their hardship is that they don't currently have enough space. So they're looking to build the garage in order to put their stuff, their vehicles, home equipment, whatever. That makes sense. Anything else anybody needs to know? I don't think that's is that the property? I think.
Debbie, are these the right photos?
I believe so, yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes, I think so.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't have any questions. Angelia, do you have any questions?
No, I don't have any questions.
Okay.
We did have some opposition. I sent you letters from the back neighbor.
Right.
I
Okay.
see one hand up.
I was gonna see if anybody's on.
Yeah, let me.
Oh, by the way, the shed is coming down.
Okay.
They're not currently living in the residence, so a lot is hinging on them getting the work that they want to have done.
Okay.
Before they can move in, I should say.
So is there anyone on this WebEx that is in favor or opposition? If you want to speak, you could please press the hand next to your name.
Okay, I see one so far.
Okay.
Matthew, would you like to speak?
Go ahead, man.
Yeah, this is Mrs. Chalice at 5429 Danton Air. I'm using Matthew's computer. Yes, we are opposed to a structure of this size. It will be a very unpleasant looking structure. I did send an email. May I read from my email that I submitted?
You can. I did read it. I'm sure Ms. Bill also read it.
You can go ahead and read it if it helps.
Well, either way, I submitted 2 emails. One, in response to the proposed variance by Karen and Joe Panhurst, we are writing to oppose the construction of a 30 by 40 foot detached garage at the property located at 5382 Kurth Road, St. Louis, Missouri 63128. A building of the proposed size would be like looking at a warehouse. The Panhorse property sits at a higher elevation than our property, making it impossible to block out the view of a warehouse with shrubbery of any kind. We have lived at the property at 5429 Danton Air since 1975. We are planning to live here for our remaining years. However, since we are both 77 years of age, we could be forced to sell for health reasons. We believe that the proposed structure would not only be an eyesore, but would greatly decrease the value of our property. And then I sent another email saying, the property at 5382 Kurth Road was purchased by Mr. and Mrs. Panhorse approximately 12 to 18 months ago. At the time of purchase, the property had a 2-car garage. It is my understanding that Mr. and Mrs. Panhorse converted that garage either partially or entirely to another use. Because the garage has been changed from its original purpose, they are asking for a variance to construct a 30 by 40 foot detached garage. The Chalice property sits directly behind the Panhorse property. The 2 properties adjoin. The occupants of the 5429 Danton Air property would have no recourse other than being forced to look at an unsightly, massive structure. Additionally, it is my understanding that Mr. and Mrs. Panhorse own acreage somewhere. It seems to me they could put their large vehicles on the other property that they own. That's all I have to say. Thank you. Other than it would really be an unsightly view from our home and our kitchen window, our bay window. That's a place where we spend a lot of time, and what we'll be looking at instead of a nice home is a structure that's going to look like a warehouse. That's it.
All right. Thank you very much.
Dad, do you have anything to add?
Is there anyone else that Doug, that you can see that is here to speak on this? Doug, can you see anyone else that wants to speak?
Sorry, I forgot I had muted myself. No, I don't see anyone else.
Okay.
Is this
Angelia,
yours?
Angelia, do you have any other questions?
I don't. Mm-mm.
Okay. In that case, 115-20, and I am going to say that I did drive out there and looked at all the properties around there. So 115-20, I'm going to vote to deny the variance. I feel that it's a self-imposed hardship having that many things that they need to put away. And I do feel that it would probably might bring down the property value of the neighbors. So by that, I'm going to deny it.
I second that.
Holy cow. Can I speak to her concern?
No, we've already voted.
Well, I mean, okay. I was never able to speak because I was muted after she completed her presentation.
I'm sorry, we're doing the best we can.
I understand that. I just would contest that it's an ugly structure. It's a garage, actually a beautiful structure.
Sir, we've already voted.
Okay. I mean, I just don't think giving her the ability to speak and then no rebuttal or anything doesn't seem very fair to me.
Well, I waited. I didn't hear anybody.
I tried to speak. I couldn't wait or anything. I mean, I was just.
Well, as I said, we're doing the best we can. Doing it by WebEx is hard on all of us.
Okay. So, all right. Can the owner speak to it? The owner of the property?
We've already voted, sir.
All right.
So, Doug, I guess we can go on to 116.
All right. Okay, next item is 116-20, Abiding Savior Lutheran Church and School. Request an exception to the front yard regulations for the purpose of replacing an existing monument sign at 4355 Butler Hill Road, maintaining a front yard of 5 feet in lieu of 25 feet as required by the R2 Residence District Regulations and section 1003.168 sections of the St. Louis County Zoning Ordinance. Bill, are you ready to speak on this item?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, my name's Bill Behrens. I'm with Warren Sign Company. I don't know that I can share my screen, so in essence, we're replacing an existing sign with a new sign the same size and height. We're asking for a 5-foot setback because that's the only place it'll fit on the property. We got a variance for this location when the original sign was put in. Since we're changing it, we've got to renew with a new variance.
Mm-hmm. So
it's the same sign, same place.
Everything's the same. Okay.
Okay. I don't have any questions.
Okay. Is there anyone that's for or against this? Please click the hand next to your name and make sure you're unmuted.
I don't see anyone.
Okay.
Okay, well, hearing none, 116-20, I vote to approve the variance as advertised. And the hardship is basically they're just updating the sign that's in the same space and it's at the same size.
I will second.
Thank you.
Okay, so your paperwork will be mailed to you as it usually is.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Okay, next is 117-20, Peter and Susan Zadrozinski. Let's see, request an exception to the front yard regulations for the purpose of constructing a new single-family residence at 154 Crescent Bluff Drive, maintaining a front yard of 25 feet in lieu of 50 feet, as required by the NU non-urban district regulations and the St. Louis County Zoning Ordinance. Peter and Susan, are you ready to speak on this item?
Yes, we are. Can you hear us?
Yes, we can.
Yes.
Hi, my name is Peter Zadrzinski, and my wife Susan is alongside with me.
Hello. Okay.
We are requesting the variance in the setback for the construction of our new home at the end of a private cul-de-sac. We are the last house on the street. We have one neighbor to the right of us if you're facing the asphalt pavement. Our hardship is that we're having difficulty placing the house on a narrow and very awkwardly shaped lot. There is a 100-foot plus cliff off the back of the property that drops down. So we want to position the house so we have some flat yard from a safety standpoint, to position the house within the 25-foot variance. We have agreement by the trustees of the neighborhood and agreement from the one neighbor that is to the right-hand side of us.
And the lot across the street.
There is several lots across the street that do not meet the minimum requirement for building in the neighborhood of, I believe it's 3 acres. So those will never actually have a house on them.
It was just the property across the street are tiny little lots that there's a neighbor who's not part of the neighborhood who owns property, and he bought that as a buffer between his property and the neighborhood. So he doesn't have any plans to build a house there. He just likes having that lot there, his buffer.
So where it says wood deck, that's the drop off?
That's actually an existing structure that was on the property we bought that cantilevers over.
But
That
where
will
it
be
says-
removed.
Well, I'm trying to get an idea of what it looks like. Because I did not get out there. Where it says zone X, all that clear there, that's the drop. I mean,
Yes,
that's
the Merrimack River right below us.
All right, okay. So I'm just trying to get an idea of the.
Sure.
And then the street, your front street is up above where we can't see, I guess.
Where it says
Where
asphalt?
it says asphalt. Where the driveway, there was an existing house there at one time
I don't see
that
it.
burned down.
I don't think I see anything that says asphalt.
Right at the end of there's a concrete drive on the document that's shared. It says asphalt.
The top, very top of the screen.
Uh-huh.
Right by the cursor there.
I don't think we're getting it on ours, but anyway. I see where it says 25 front yard variance requests. And then a space with looks like some trees. So it must be above that.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
We can see it on our view.
Yeah,
but-
for some reason.
I cannot. Can you, Angelia?
Oh, I can't either. I'm just seeing. Okay, well, I see a drawing now. I can't see the drawing.
Mm-hmm. I'm just wondering, so.
They scroll it down, whoever's cut, can they control that?
Okay, well, I got an idea now. I just, not knowing the area and I wasn't able to get over there. I just.
Yes, ma'am.
Trying to get a picture in my mind of what it's like. So obviously you can't go back any further. You'd be off the top of the bluff.
Correct.
And, all right, I don't have any other questions. Do you, Angelia?
No, I don't.
Okay. Is there anyone on this WebEx that's in favor or opposition? Please hit the hand next to your name.
I don't see anyone.
Okay. 117-20, I'm going to vote to approve the variance as advertised, the hardship being the size of the lot, and they obviously can't go back any further. They're sitting on top of the bluff that drops off to the Merrimack River.
I second it.
Okay, so your paperwork will be mailed to you.
Thank you.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Have a good day.
Okay, next is 118-20 Kelly Johnson. Request an exception to the rear yard regulations for the purpose of maintaining an existing retaining wall and fence at 5 Laurelwood Court, maintaining a rear yard of 5 feet in lieu of 15 feet as required by the R3 Residence District regulations of the St. Louis County Zoning Ordinance. Kelly, are you ready to speak on this item?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, we can.
All righty. Yes, I moved in 2014 and the wall was already there. Then I was informed that the wall was never permitted. So then I had to get an engineer and he approved the wall. And then I got easement releases. And then I also got my maintenance agreement with the neighborhood that wall also shares.
So, okay, there it is. All right, so you're just doing, this is, I can see it's been there a long time, so you're just.
Yes, the wall was never permitted and I didn't know it. So it was there when I moved in, but then I found out it wasn't permitted. So now I'm just doing my due diligence, trying to get it permitted.
Okay, so you want a variance to put it in compliance with?
Yes.
Okay. Angelia, do you have any other?
No, I don't have any questions.
Okay. Is there anyone here in favor or opposition that you would like to speak? You can hit the hand next to your name.
I see one. Let's see.
I don't.
Paul, are you ready to speak?
Yes, sir, I am.
Okay, whenever you're ready.
All right. My name is Paul Martin. I'm representing the Resnors who live at 33 Montauk behind the property at issue. And the folks who live there or who own that property have got a problem. Now, we're not exactly in opposition of the variance request, but Ms. Johnson is correct that when this wall was put in, it was not put in according to procedure. And as a result, there wasn't any opportunity for my client to raise any issues at that particular time. In fact, when the wall was put in, they trespassed on my client's property, they regraded the land behind the wall, and they caused an erosion problem on their property at, I believe, is the northernmost part of the wall, where the wall is smallest. It's where it's about 3 feet, I believe, if I understand correctly. And what we were hoping, number one, we wanted to have some confirmation that utility easement waivers have been obtained. We'd like to see a copy of those. Number two, we would like confirmation that there isn't any anticipated reconstruction of the wall at this time. And number three, as a result of how the wall and the fence were built, the property owner, Ms. Johnson, and before her, whoever the predecessor in interest was, didn't have the ability, as I understand it, to access behind the fence that's on top of the wall. And yet they have approximately at least 5 feet of property on the other side of that fence that they haven't maintained for years, forcing Mr. Resner to maintain that. So ideally, if this variance is granted, we would like it granted with a condition that at the very least, they put a gate in the fence to allow them access to the rear part of their yard, and that they maintain the rear part of their yard just as everyone else is required to do in St. Louis County. And that is essentially what we're looking for.
Okay, thank you. Miss or Mrs. Johnson, would you like to answer
Yes.
those questions, please?
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay. Like I said before, the wall was there for years, for many years before I moved in. I don't know what the neighbor behind me is. It was there. He was there. He lived there probably when the wall was being built. So I'm not sure why he didn't say anything at that time. I've only lived there since 2014, and I think the wall's been there since 2009. So, and I've done my due diligence and gotten just about everything that was requested by the county. The easement releases, the agreement with the neighbor, because the wall actually extends to the other side. So I don't know, I guess I'm just trying to figure out why is this all being put on me type of thing.
Well, I don't think we're questioning, I don't think anybody's questioning that you didn't do all this, was here before you bought the house, but,
yes.
Sorry about that. I had a phone call.
It's okay.
For some reason it comes in on my iPad. So I think, they're asking for waivers for the, and you probably have already had utility waivers, but also
yes.
I do see, maintaining that back area. I think that wouldn't be something that would be, awful for them to ask of you. It is pretty unsightly.
Well, it doesn't really look like that anymore. Those are really old pictures. I guess I can ask the new owners to help maintain that. Would be their responsibility. I guess I can, reach out to them and say that they need to maintain it.
I think these pictures were just taken, weren't they, Debbie?
Yes. But she can't answer for the new homeowners to maintain that. I mean, it would be, she could tell them that it would be nice if they would.
In their survey, they know it's their problem.
Oh, Debbie, can't hear you now.
Oh, Debbie's muted.
Yeah. Debbie, we still can't hear you. Well, so Miss Johnson, is behind that fence up where all that greenery is, that is your property, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
And I maintained it when I owned it.
Well, these pictures are new.
Right, but I've since then moved out.
Oh, okay. Okay. I forgot the other gentleman's name that was speaking.
Paul.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Do you want to speak to him again?
Yes, please.
Okay. Paul, you're unmuted.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
You probably did hear that she did get waivers from the utilities. Now, of course, we don't know. She said she maintained it when she lived there. She doesn't live there now. She has sold it. I'm assuming new people would be coming in.
Well, technically, this raises all kinds of technical legal issues. I don't know how she can apply for a variance for a house that she doesn't own anymore. But if you decide that you want to grant the variance, I would point out that as a Board of Adjustment, you can append conditions. I mean, this variance is going to run with the land, and it will allow the new owner to rebuild the wall, provided it meets code. And as a Board of Adjustment, I believe you have the authority to condition the grant of the variance on the fact of the property owner accepting responsibility for the maintenance of their property. And that can then be used to enforce the requirement against the new property owner and any following property owner if they fail to do that. So I do think you do have the opportunity to grant a variance with a condition here that helps protect my client's interests.
Okay, thank you. So I'm going to ask for a continuance because there's several things I would like to look into more and think about.
I agree.
Angela, are you all right with that?
Yes, I am. I was thinking the same thing.
Okay, so we will continue this for 2 weeks. Number 118-20. Was there anybody else that was speaking on this, or did we hear anybody?
I don't see anyone else.
Okay, so we will continue this, and if everybody would like to be on the WebEx again, that would be great. But if you can't be, you don't have to be. I think that this is new for us to do this on WebEx, so I'm usually we do it in person, but anyway, if it's a hardship for you to be on this, you don't have to be for us to vote.
Very good.
All right, so
what's the date? 2 weeks from today, 4 o'clock?
Yes, I don't know where you will be on the agenda, but okay.
Okay.
2 weeks.
Very good. Thank you very much.
All right.
Okay, next is 119-20, Michael Burney, requests an exception to the side and rear yard regulations for the purpose of replacing an existing retaining wall and fence at 4365 Opal Court, maintaining both side yards of 0 feet in lieu of 6 feet, and a rear yard of 6 feet in lieu of 15 feet as required by the R4 Residence District regulations and the density development procedure of the St. Louis County Zoning Ordinance. And let's see. Grant, are you ready to speak on this item?
I am. Good afternoon. Can everyone hear me okay?
Yes.
So this is at 4365 Opal Court. My name's Grant Maybe. I present Mr. Burney, who's the homeowner. This one has an unfortunate and long and tortured history, but I'll try to be brief and be happy to take any questions. When the subdivision was built approaching 30 years ago, there were existing railroad tie walls all along the rear of this property and most of the adjacent homes on the rear of the subdivision. They sit high up on a bluff with a creek at the bottom in between this subdivision and the next subdivision over. And all of those walls began to deteriorate, and contracts were initiated to build new block style retaining walls. And unfortunately on this particular one, there's some photographs I submitted that show the neighbor's walls. Everything was built correctly except for a wall that was attempted to be built in 2015. And here's some of the aftermath. The engineer made some math errors and the wall was not built correctly. And shortly after it was built, large sections of it failed and collapsed. So we have retained the grounded logic and John Shively, a professional engineer who has built some of the largest and finest retaining walls in the St. Louis metro area. He has created a new set of plans. That's the picture that was previously shown. So he has done all of the engineering calculations and has put forth the wall that needs to be built to hold the land and the house up. There is a third picture, I'm not sure if that can be displayed, that kind of gives the view. It shows the two neighboring homes. I mean, that's a top-down view that shows it that everyone's looking at, but these walls all connect to one another. So you can see the red line is the new wall. The engineer shows it going right to the property line on the side, and then it kicks back a little bit. And that's the way both of the neighbors' walls are built as well. And that's needed for the structural integrity of the whole slope there. And so the rear setback we're requesting is 6 feet. We are off the rear property line, about 6 feet 4 inches, something like that. And then on the side yard, it needs to be a zero setback. It needs to go right to the edge so the walls can work in conjunction with one another to hold the slope up.
Okay. That's pretty thorough. Angelia, do you have any other questions?
No, I don't.
Is there anyone on this WebEx that's in favor or opposition? If so, please hit the hand by your name.
I don't see anyone.
Okay. Hearing none, 118-20. I vote to approve the variance as advertised, and the hardship is just the need to rebuild the wall.
I second. Okay, and your paperwork will be mailed to you.
Very good. Thank you both for your time. I appreciate it.
Uh-huh.
Okay, next is 120-20, Kevin Lang. Request an exception to the rear yard regulations and lot coverage requirements for the purpose of installing an above-ground swimming pool at 4634 Dorbendale Court, maintaining a rear yard of 11 feet in lieu of 15 feet and lot coverage of 7.1% in lieu of 7% as required by the R3 Residence District regulations of the St. Louis County Zoning Ordinance. Kevin, you are unmuted whenever you are ready.
All right, thank you. The rear yard of the 11 feet, we do not need that anymore. At the time I submitted the plans, I couldn't find anywhere what the guidelines were as far as where to situate from the rear property and the side yard property lines. So after I received the response back stating that, you know, it needed to be 15 feet, that's not an issue for us. And I resubmitted new plans to Amber Mihalchik showing that in proper scale of the plot with 15 feet from the rear property line. So the issue I have is I found out that we're 3.8 square feet too small of a lot size to accommodate a 27-foot pool. So it's my wife and I have lived here for 21 years. We've got 3 children, friends and family. We were just we ordered the pool back in June, still haven't received it, but we're hoping, we thought 27-foot pool would fit in the backyard. So when I found out we're 3.8 square feet too small, I was just hoping to be able to get granted a variance to accommodate the bigger pool, just with the family and friends that we want to be able to use it and not have to downsize to a smaller pool.
Okay, and so just to be clear, you do not need you do clear the 15 feet, so you don't need a setback.
Correct. We've got 15 feet in the back, and we've got 17 feet on the one side and 20 feet on the other side of our neighbors, and then we got common ground behind us. And we're still 20 feet away from our house, the back of the house. So I've since submitted new drawing to Amber Mihalchik with proper scaling and everything. Okay. And like I said, we were just hoping to be able to get the 27-foot pool just with family size and friends. I didn't know we were over the variance. That's why I started the permit process a few weeks ago before the pool comes, so we can, and that's when I found out, the different requirements. And I was just hoping for, since we're just 3.8 square feet, that we would be approved for the 27-foot pool instead of having to go down to a 24-foot.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I don't have any other questions. Do you, Angelia?
I don't.
Okay. Is there anyone here in favor or opposition? Please hit the hand next to your name if you are.
I don't see anyone. Okay.
120-20, I'm going to vote to approve the variance as advertised. Well, we don't need the footage now, only if the lot coverage, and it's so minute that, yes, I don't think you even need a hardship for it, but anyway, I'm going to vote to approve the variance. And Okay.
Okay. I second it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, looks like you'll be ice skating on it instead of swimming pretty soon.
Well, by the time it gets here, we might be,
Okay, well, your paperwork will be mailed to you.
thank you.
Okay, next is 121-20, Albert Makesner Jr. Request an exception to the regulations that govern the enlargement, extension, construction, reconstruction, or structural alteration of a non-conforming use, land, or structure for the purpose of renovating the existing residential structure at 4322 Mattis Road, as required by the C6 Office Research Service District and Section 1003.170 non-conforming uses, lands, and structures of the St. Louis County Zoning Ordinance. Albert, you're unmuted whenever you're ready.
Hi, thanks. Can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
Thank you. Thank you for taking the time today. My wife and myself are looking to renovate an existing structure on the property of 4322 Mattis. It has always been a residential structure. Back in the early 90s, my grandfather and my father explored putting their small business on the adjoining lot. They ended up never putting the office there, so it was zoned commercial. It never used commercial, so we just want to renovate the existing structure you see on your screen right next to Mattis Road for the use of our family. The land has been in our family for over 100 years. My father lives in the adjoining property and obviously wants us to be able to live there as well.
So we're just taking it back to, well, I guess we're not going to take it back, but we would be allowing you to build on something that had been
residential in the past.
Yeah. Okay. I don't have any other questions, Angela. Angela, do you have any? You're muted, it looks like.
No, I don't have any questions.
Okay. Is there anyone on this WebEx that's in favor or opposition to this? Please hit the hand next to your name if so.
I don't see anyone.
Okay.
Is that mine?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, is that 119? No, it's
No,
121.
yeah.
121-20, I vote to approve the variance as advertised.
Okay. I'll second that. So your paperwork will be mailed to you.
Thank you very much. I appreciate your time today.
Okay, did or did somebody from 113? No, not that one. Who didn't? We have to continue.
110.
110. Is there anyone here for 110?
There's one person here. I'm not sure. Let me see. Ralph, are you here to speak on chemo music? Ralph, are you there? Okay, I guess there's no one else. Everyone else has already spoken on a different item.
Okay. Well, then I guess 110-20 will be continued, I suppose.
Okay, I second it.
Okay. So that, I guess that ends our meeting.
Yep, that's it.
Okay. So Debbie, can you hear me? Oh, we still can't hear you. That's okay. If you can hear me, I was just going to say I would probably be calling you to get some little more information for myself on 118. Okay. All right. Well.
All right.
Guess that's it.
All right. Thanks.
Okay. See y'all in 2 weeks.
All right. See you later.
Bye.
Bye.